So there's no verse in the Quran that talks about beards. However, there are several verses in the Quran that talk about how we should eat. So Allah says, first of all, كُلُوا مِمَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. Eat and drink halal and tayyib, wholesome foods. So halal food and wholesome food.
Yes.
So that's one of the principles that we teach. You predominantly eat wholesome, natural foods,
Yes, yes.
single ingredient foods. If it's protein, it's protein. If it's chicken, it's chicken. If it's beef, it's beef. If it's carbohydrates, vegetables, vegetables. It's not this.
It's not ultra processed.
Yeah, it's not ultra processed, right? So that's one verse. Then there's another verse where Allah says, "Kulu washrabu wa la tusrifu." Eat and drink, don't go to excess. Now I'm going to throw a caveat in here. I got called out by Sheikh Yasir Qadi because I used this verse and I said it's Allah said not to eat excess, and he says no. Historically, that verse was never understood like that because israf is extravagance.
Yes.
Right. So I said, look. But when you eat, excessively eating, isn't that a form of extravagance? He said, yeah, okay. I said, isn't the Quran timeless? I said, yeah. I said, there's some verses that are restricted and other verses that are open to interpretation
over time.
Yeah. And based on circumstances, situations, things like that, you can interpret these verses differently. I said, historically, these verses were probably never interpreted that way because nobody was obese. Everybody was a healthy body weight, so it didn't make any sense to interpret these verses in that manner. Now we are living in a world where obesity is killing hundreds of thousands of people a year, right? And our community is one of the hardest hit. So it makes sense to interpret these verses in this manner, right? He conceded. He said, "You're actually right. You're actually right." So, but then there's another verse: "Kulu min at-tayyibat ma razaqnakum wa la tatghaw fi." Eat of the wholesome foods that we provided you, but don't overindulge or go to excess in it. And I use this verse to explain to my clients that even healthy foods you can overeat.
Of course you can. You can die of. We had it actually recently. Too much water, and a lady died. She had cocaine. She got thirsty, started drinking. Sodium levels dropped. Had a coma, died. So if water, something which is pure and you can anything, excess amount of dates or honey or black seed oil, whatever you think is tayyib and good for you.
Yeah,
mentioned in the Quran.
So Allah is even restricting that.